Tuesday it might get loud at Yonge Dundas Square. Shania Twain, seen on NBC's Today Show, brings her Definitely Not a farewell tour to the Air Canada Centre. Charles Sykes, Envision, The Associated Press, Jack White, Jimmy Page and The Edge of U2 in the documentary It Might Get Loud. Watch this if you want to rock out in the heart of the city. The title of this hard-rocking 2008 doc is very fitting for the latest edition of City Cinema, the annual program of free outdoor screenings at Yonge Dundas Square. Directed by Davis Guggenheim, It Might Get Loud dives deep into the lives, styles and inspirations of three guitar heroes, Jimmy Page, The Edge and Jack White. It's a prime example of the rockumentaries that fill this summer's slate. Upcoming picks include Standing in the Shadows of Motown, July 17th, and 20 Feet from Stardom, July 31st, so there are good times ahead at Toronto's most brightly lit intersection. 8 p.m. Jason Anderson article continued below. The Amazing Race Canada host John Montgomery, Centre, and the 10 teams of the Amazing Race Canada, Heroes Edition, Bell Media. Watch this if you'd like a post-Canada Day injection of Canuck pride. The Heroes Edition of this Canadian TV hit features teams who give back in some way, whether they're first responders, military members, elite athletes or people who volunteer for good causes. 10 duos are competing for $250,000 and other prizes. As they race across Canada, as well as to international destinations, they'll be tested mentally and physically, and who comes out ahead often has as much to do with luck as strength and skill. Olympic hero John Montgomery hosts. CTV at 8 p.m. Deborah Yo, Wednesday's Toronto Fringe Festival. Watch this if you like the sound of the words. Theatre Christmas article continued. Bella's 30th birthday is a big deal for anyone, including lottery-based performance festivals. The Toronto Fringe turns the big 3-0 with its 2018 edition, and it's as robust as ever. Over 150 shows will be performed in over 45 venues through the festival's 10 days. The Fringe still has a balance of reliable festival favorites and young up-and-comers to keep it fresh. And the rebranded Postscript patio in the Scatting Court Community Centre hockey rink is open to the public for food, drinks and nightly entertainment until 2 a.m. on weeknights and 4 a.m. on Saturdays. Multiple venues, until July 15th, Carly McGaw Thursday, Mila Severine, Jonquier Stars and Mila, coming to the TIFF Bell Lightbox. TIFF, watch this if you want to see a special kind of teen flick. The second feature by the gifted young French-Armenian filmmaker Valérie Messadian. Mila earned prizes at several European festivals last year for its sensitive portrait of a 17-year-old girl trying to make the best of tough circumstances in a grim port town in northern France. Local cinephiles will get their first chance to see it when it screens in MDFF Selects, the always intriguing series of international fest finds that deserve more exposure. TIFF Bell Lightbox, 350 King Street. W. 8:45 p.m. JAFRIDAY. Greta Van Fleet, Josh Kiska of Greta Van Fleet, Amy Harris, Envision, The Associated Press. Watch this because there's evidently still a place in the world for hairy blues pilferers with big guitars. This Central Michigan band is making rock relevant again, at least according to the evergreen headline from Rolling Stone. All eye-rolling aside, they do make a pretty familiar dad rock racket seem almost new again, starting with the impressive and instantly recognizable wailing of lead singer Josh Kiska and the heavy riffage of his twin brother Jock on guitar, a classic four-piece setup. They've got another Kiska brother and bass player Sam. They are Led Zeppelin. None other than Robert Plant told Loudwire. Toronto debuts rarely if ever come advanced by such hype. Rebel, 11 Polson Street, doors 7:30 p.m. Friday, also 7 p.m. Sunday, Chris Young, Shania Twain. Watch this for a career-spanning trip with all the bells and whistles, the anti-farewell tour. Her life has had more than its share of ups and downs, retirement and retreat, divorce and remarriage, health problems that for a time robbed her of her voice, and her last time here 3 years ago she was talking, for a while, anyway, of a farewell show. Instead, it was a prelude to this rebirth and one of the tightest, most glittering touring ships to come this year. Twain's LP Now, her first in 15 years, has delivered hits to add to the collection on display here. Amid Boffo returns, she's ever the survivor, as even her confessed Donald Trump fandom appears but a blip on this comeback. Air Canada Centre, 40 Bay Street, 7:30 p.m. Also Saturday, Sirelando. Watch this if you want a literary adaptation for 2018, of Human Bondage. Another literary adaptation, was one of Soul Pepper Theatre's biggest recent hits. Virginia Woolf's century-spanning, gender-messing epic Orlando feels like a bigger challenge and a worthier one. And considering its two leads are Sarah Fool and Maeve Beatty in this adaptation by Sarah Rull, we are willing to come along on the journey. Young Center for the Performing Arts, 50 Tank House Lane, 7:30 p.m. on until July 29, CMSATURDAYPS. We are all here. Watch this if you are, or want to be, a self-described dance nerd. To Love In began to promote a supportive, open environment in which practitioners and audiences could view and discuss contemporary dance. As the collective nears its 10th anniversary, it has several initiatives, including this series of local and international dance, where dance nerds search to connect with their audiences and demystify dance. This year's festival features local performers like Molly Johnson, Kate Nankervis, and Trey Panier, Bill Coleman, Alvin Calance and Sahara Morimoto. The Citadel, 304 Parliament Street, 6 p.m. repeats July 12 and 13, cm Sunday sharp. Objects. Watch this if you want to see how a celebrated Canadian director handles another book-to-screen project. Montreal's Jean-Marc Vallée won an Emmy in the undying devotion of its stars for directing TV miniseries Big Little Lies for HBO. Now he's behind the camera for this TV adaptation of the debut novel of Gillian Flynn, Gone Girl, also for HBO. Like Lies, Objects boasts some serious acting talent, including Oscar nominee and Golden Globe winner Amy Adams, Patricia Clarkson, Toronto's own Henry Czerny, Port Colborne native Matt Craven and Chris Messina, and an A-list creator in Marty Noxon, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Unreal. The result is a compelling series that judiciously unravels its mysteries as alcoholic reporter Camille Preaker is sent home to Wind Gap, Missouri, to write about the murders of two teen girls. HBO at 9 p.m. Die.